and you probably all know that. So when the CIA or any other armed person bombs another country, and the original conflict is forgotten, but the other people become marginalized to a point where they're known as unpeople. And the term unpeople is such a neat term, because it implies that whoever you're eradicating doesn't matter. They're just not really people. So I thought the cycle of violence that happens, this guy bombed that guy, so this person has to bomb that guy. At some point, the whole thing just gets forgotten. It just becomes a series of unpeople bombing each other. And so I, believe it or not, thought that would be a good song. So I wrote this song. Empire booming, empire bust. Watch their cities turn to rust. Don't you worry about the unpeople. Don't you worry about the
Okay, so tonight I just played at Second Act Marketplace in San Francisco, and Paul Myers opened for me and has agreed to spend 5 minutes with me for my blog. So, Paul Myers.
Hi.
Now, I know you love music.
Implicitly.
So, did you love it listening to it first or playing it? What grabbed you first?
I'm one of those guys who heard the Beatles very, very young, listened to the Beatles records. My name's Paul Myers, and so they had a guy named Paul McCartney, so I would sometimes sign Paul M on the back of records pretending I was Paul McCartney. And I remember it was probably Revolver by the Beatles that I was listening to it one day, and I went, oh my god, I would love to be in the studio making this record, and I didn't even know how to play the guitar.
Yeah. But you knew what being in the studio was. You're already aware of what a recording process was?
The Beatles, I heard stories about how making records and adding strings.
And so how, not to date you, but how old, was this when you were, because I don't know when Revolver came out.
Well,
so
I don't know if it was new. I don't know if it was new.
Or?
I don't know if it was new when I heard it, but I was 11.
Okay.
So I think it may have been already out for a few years.
But so 11 is still a pretty young age to fall in love with music, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
were you wearing cool? Were you cool and different than all the kids on the block?
No. I was hoping music would make me cool.
Yeah.
I was also, but at that age, you're also hoping that flares and corduroy pants would make you cool.
Well, did those work for you?
Yeah, the chords did. The chords.
Chords.
So both kinds of chords
make
me
are pretty
cool.
Did you used to put? Remind me a lot, actually. Your style reminds me a lot of Elvis Costello.
He's a huge influence.
Yeah.
Later influence.
Yeah, and lyrically, and I'm not surprised, but your stuff is really thought-provoking and interesting, and and they kind of push the it's not simple. It's just not I love you, you're great. So you've written a song, the Love Letter song. I really love that one.
Oh, it's called On Paper. Yeah, it's about the idea of working out, sort of making an argument to a girl and trying to be really logical about it and writing down a letter of recommendation for yourself.
I love that.
It's actually because my wife is super organized, and she would always say, when you have a big problem, break it down and make a list. And I was terrible at that. And so I thought it would be kind of funny if, this is long after I met my wife, I thought, wouldn't it be funny if me at 16 had that advice? Would he write a song that's kind of a list, And so I thought it would be really cool.
Thought that written evidence could prove I exist to you. I prioritize the pros and cons of why you should be with me. It's a document that only very beautiful eyes should see. So if you find the time, I know you can't read my mind. I tell you that it all works fine on paper.
Throw images out. So my older songs were very didactic.
Right.
They're very much telling
lay it
people
out. I opened the cereal box. I opened the plastic. I poured out cereal, and then now it's I was hungry. I missed your love.
I missed you at breakfast.
Yeah. So at the end of tonight's show, I asked Paul if he wanted to get up and make something up with me, and he said yes. And then I had a couple other people in the audience. There were, I think, 8 of us up there.
And John Mormon, who was
And
here.
John Mormon played guitar beautifully, and we made up a song called I Don't Know.
What was it? I think it was called Rain or something like that. Or
Well, the audience suggestion was I don't know.
oh, then we'll call it that. Yeah.
Yeah, but your beautiful lyrics. My favorite lyric there was, I used to be someone in this town, but I had to leave in a hurry.
Yeah. Again, see,
I love that.
I like it when people don't tell you why.
Yeah.
And also, I like the idea.
I love that.
Something else that came out of my head that I was like kind of intrigued with is something about it was raining, but now I need an umbrella all the time or something like that.
To protect your feelings.
Yeah. And I didn't even know, like, I love it when that happens.
Me
I
too.
love it. That's the beautiful thing about automatic stuff and jamming is that you can just throw stuff out and then go, what was I saying? And it can take you a year. In fact, I still
Yeah,
don't
what
know.
did I mean by that?
Yeah, in fact, my favorite songs are when people say to me, like of my own, or when people say to me afterwards, what were you saying there? And I'll go, what do you think? And if I can do that, I feel happy because that's a great
cool.
moment. Defeat
That's
your own sense of whatever.
Yeah. Well, Paul's on Twitter. I follow him at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. He's extremely busy on social media, so feel free to follow him there.
And Pull My Ears. It's like an anagram of Paul Myers. PULMYEARS.
Yep. So there he is.
On Twitter, yeah.
So this has been 5 minutes with Paul Myers. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you,
Good
Jody.
night.
Thanks for having me.
On paper, it's like the heaviest book on the shelf. I could never understand it myself.